It's got some pretty cool things lie ahead for Helldivers 2. If you're still on this game and you're wondering what's next, well, if you haven't seen it yet, it's out there. Helldivers 2 Mechs confirmed to be coming soon by developer. They have to confirm it, Scott. It's been leaked everywhere, man.
Yeah, I feel like enough people have seen it just in random little clips here and there.
It's been nuts. Mike Straw over Insider Gaming had this to say. Mechs are coming soon to Helldivers 2. Developer Arrowhead Game Studio has confirmed, quote, Helldivers, the XO-45 Patriot exosuits are in full production in the factories. Dude, that's funny. Ready for deployment on the battlefield soon. The game's official Twitter account posted. Before the confirmation of them coming soon, mechs have always been the gameplay feature just out of reach for Helldivers 2 players. They have been in work since before the game's release, but it didn't make it at launch for the launch version of the game. That said, leaked gameplay did make its way online, showing simple gameplay of the mechs. Other gameplay also confirmed how they work, allowing players to jump in and out freely. The XO-45 mech features a minigun and a missile launcher and helps spread democracy far and wide. Scott, dude, have you seen the leaks?
I haven't actually watched any clips myself because I see them and I scroll on by. I try not to spoil it for myself too badly.
I watched it,
but I think it's interesting that this is not an accidental situation. I'm pretty sure this is the game master Joel dropping a few mechs here and there to see what's happening.
It hit a flurry of feedback from players going. So I was watching this one guy. He's just in playing the game. All of a sudden, this dude starts dropping mechs into the world. He's like, "What is this?"
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, what is going on here? He goes, "Can I get these? How do I do this? What do I do? What do I?" And then, dude, there's like a warthog looking like kind of thing too. So not only is there a mech, yeah, there's also a warthog that's kind of a presence in there as well. It's got cool aspects to it, and again, something that when you take a look at these live service games, it is the roadmap you're looking for, right? Like, what does this keep us going, coming back for? After so much, Scott, like, I bounced. Dude, I can only shoot so many bugs and automatons until I'm like, I'm out of here, right? I got other things to do, other things to play, things we're currently covering. We'll get into those soon. And how all that kind of unravels, right? But it's that rinse and repeat thing of, like, is this going to work? Is this going to... And then people are like, hey, did you see the mech? Holy crap, did that just change things, right? So all of a sudden, this mech is just lighting things up, dude, with a minigun. Like, you should have seen it. It was wild. I'm like, all right, now I might just have to jump back in. How do I get one of these mech suits? Because that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that heavy armament is definitely well needed in that game. It's funny that you say that rinse and repeat in this game didn't quite hit you the same way as Skull and Bones has, but that's a whole different topic.
It certainly is.
On the idea of live service games, however, I think it's funny, and a lot of people have pointed this out. Helldivers 2 is getting vehicles before Starfield is.
Ouch. Ouch. Isn't that insane? Dude, that is nuts when you think about it. Such a smaller studio when it comes to Arrowhead versus Bethesda, right? Like, how big is Bethesda? They are massive. Yeah, it is odd that we never saw an actual vehicle or could actually drive around, or even for that matter, take our ship and fly around the planets. But you just literally land and bounce out, and now you're walking for miles on end. And sometimes then you become encumbered. Dude, I do want to get back to that game and finish it up. There's DLC coming. Like, there's a bunch of stuff coming for this game, for Starfield, that has me excited to get back into. But Helldivers right now still firing on all cylinders. But, Scott, I want to bring in one more article as we're continuing on with Helldivers. Helldivers 2 Studio CEO says it's not being acquired by PlayStation. This is Chris Scully over at BGC. Speculation has been spreading throughout social media following the huge success of the online co-op shooter, which is PlayStation's biggest PC launch to date. After X-User at Next Gen Player posted a mock-up image of the PlayStation Studios logo and the Arrowhead logo with the message, quote, "Welcome to the family," end quote. Well, it was been confirmed, Scott, that it's all fake. We were hit up last night in our Discord going, Drew, is this real? I'm like, no. Like, I don't. Yeah. I said to him, I honestly, I don't know, but I can't see it. They just laid off 900 people, right? And all of a sudden, now you're gonna acquire a studio. That doesn't go very well, especially for London studios, who you're just about to shut down.
Yeah, no. Usually, you acquire the studio and then cut redundancies, not the other way around. But I thought to myself when that question was posed, that's not impossible. But at the same time, you would buy that studio before you increase its value by 10 times or whatever. The success of Helldivers has made that acquisition so much more expensive.
Well,
and you don't need to acquire them when they're already doing what we call a second party, which is you're already doing PlayStation's work for it.
Exactly. I don't think they need to acquire them. I don't think they want to acquire them. And I don't think Arrowhead wants to be acquired, is the other side of it, right? When they're launching, they've got their roadmap, they're doing things, and they're messing up the players, which is freaking awesome to think of. Like, dude, they're just messing with their own players, right? Like, that is very, very cool to see that this is how...
Master Joel.
Right? It is awesome to think of. This is how we're going to introduce Mechs. We're just going to mess with their own players. And then people are just losing their mind, and all of a sudden now it just spreads like wildfire. And here we are, we're talking about it, right? And then all of a sudden, they're acquired by PlayStation. No, it doesn't make sense. It would have made more sense, Scott, if they didn't lay off people, right? If they didn't come out and go, "Hey, we just laid off 900 people. We're shutting down London studio." If that didn't happen, then that could have been an absolute possibility. Hey, the huge success of, we want to support this team even more. We want to see them take this for years to come, turn it into a Destiny-esque scenario, right, where it's just running years on end. But I don't know if Helldivers team Arrowhead wants to do that either. Do they want this to keep going for 3, 4, 5 years? Or do they want to now take the success of this, run it for 2 years, and then go, let's work on our next title?
Yeah, I think a lot of companies aren't ready to make that jump to live service only, and we're seeing a lot of them make that choice. And no, I think I would prefer to see Helldivers kind of stay on their own, just because everybody's trying to avoid the acquisition and becoming a part of a big Embracer group, or somebody else. Even if it's not that, just somebody above you that decides if everybody's fired or not.
Well, Toys for Bob, right? Just went independent. Like, that was an interesting take. So Arrowhead already in that situation, but they were able to partner with PlayStation and come out with Helldivers 2 to unfathomable success, right? Like, they didn't expect this. There's no way Arrowhead saw this coming, right? They're just like, yo, we got to ride this as long as we possibly can and see how long they can ride it for, and hopefully hire more people on. This is where they start to hire. They're hiring people inside for the studio themselves to help with the roadmap, right? To keep this game going, to keep it alive. But how long does that roadmap go for right now in the circumstances, right? I talked to other developers going, when you're working on this, like, we have good connections right now with our friends over at Ometa Studios, and we talk with them often, at least I do, as far as, like, what does your roadmap look like? How long do you guys, plan ahead kind of thing? And it sets up for some of these things that have, well, you got to be, you have to have your roadmap down and ready to go. But we talk about live service man, you really need to have a live service already 3 years in development before you even launch, right? Like, you need those next 2 seasons, the next 2 years all ready to drop, because games and service, dude, as we talk about, live and die by the community and live and die by the content. If you don't keep updating fresh content, man, like, I already bounced, right? I already bounced at Helldivers. Mechs, crap, now I'm back.
I was gonna ask you, is this enough to bring you back in?
Oh man, dude, I gotta check this out, right? This looks cool. I want to see what these vehicles look like. What's gonna be my next grind, right? I was in there, I got some cool weapons, I got the Eagle Strike, I got some things I really wanted and liked, and there's a couple things I still want, but just due to the nature of what we do, I kind of had to shift over to other things, other projects.
Yeah, that is natural.
But it is one of those things of, now I'm watching going, ooh, it's that FOMO, right? Like, I don't want that FOMO.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that discussion. How does this feel? How does it look? How does it work? Is it fun? Like, dude, some of the best fun we've had this year is playing Helldivers, right? Helldivers 2 came out, and all we did was laugh the entire time. So, yeah, I'm back in. I don't know when they're dropping it, but I'm back in for this. But, yeah, and lastly,
I hope
they're not acquired by PlayStation.
No. I hope we can actually jump in and play without getting kicked, though. Hopefully we can just play with some randoms. But I hear there's a big backlash to a lot of those fans that are souring the group.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about those. We typically can roll with 4 people as it is. So for us, we should be just fine.